Right, how are you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are covering Cambridge IGCSE Combined Science Paper 1 for May, June 2022. Right, so let us now move on to number one. Number one of the question says, what is the outermost layer of an animal cell in the plant cell? So take note here, we want the outermost layer of the animal cell and then the outermost of the plant cell. Let us check the answers. A, there is the cell membrane in animal cell, and B, cell membrane in plant cell. In plant cells, the outermost cell is the cell wall. So the correct answer here is B, because we have got cell membrane as the first outermost cell in animal cell, and the cell wall is the in plant cells. This is the correct answer, which is B. And these are the options. They are not correct. So let us now move on to number two. Number two says most cars burn fossil fuels to release energy for their movement. Which characteristics of living organisms is similar to this? These most cars burn fossil fuel, which means they after they burn the fossil fuels, they excrete something. Um, so this process is the burning of fuel is the same as respiring in animals. So the correct answer is the what? Is D. Then the other options, excretion, no, growth, no, nutrition, no. So respiration is the same as burning fuel because it requires energy, oxygen for them for burning of fuel to take place, as well as respiration in animals, it requires oxygen for it to take place. Right. Part three, it says the table shows the results of tests carried out on food samples. The test carried out, then the final color, benedictis, then burette, ethanol emulsion, iodine. Then final change for benedictis, orange, blue, for burette, milk white for ethanol emulsion, and iodine as brown. What is present in the food sample? So on number three, uh, oil and reducing sugar are present in the symbol because this is indicated uh, by what? The milk white, it indicates that there's presence of oil, as well as uh, the test for reducing sugar is also correct. It is positive in this case. Therefore, the correct answer is B. Then moving on to number four. Which statement about enzymes is correct? Number four, uh, enzymes are biological catalysts. Yes, this is true. Enzymes are made of glycerol. No, because all enzymes are, they are what? Proteins, but not all proteins are enzymes. So all enzymes are proteins. You have to understand that. Then enzymes are not affected by changes in pH. This is wrong. Enzymes are affected by change in pH. Enzymes are not affected by change in temperature. No, this is wrong. Because the very high temperatures will denature the enzymes, and very low temperature will slow down the enzymes reaction. So the correct answer here is enzymes are biological catalysts, which is A. Number four. Moving on to number five. A plant that lives in water is exposed to sunlight. After a short period of time, bubbles of gas are given off from the plant. Which gas does the bubbles contain, and which process produces this gas? So on number five, a plant lives in water and exposed to sunlight, which means there's photosynthesis which is taking place there. So uh, then, after a short period of time, bubbles of gas are given off, which means that this plant on number five is giving off oxygen, and this is taking place through photosynthesis. Because all green plants they give off oxygen during photosynthesis. So this is the correct answer, which is part C. Other options are incorrect. Carbon dioxide, no, plants do not give off carbon dioxide. No, respiration is not the process here. So the correct answer is oxygen and photosynthesis, right? Which is part C or number 5. Moving on to number 6. Uh, which which foods are rich in carbohydrates? Grain foods, normally they are rich in carbohydrates. Let's check the answers. Eggs, these are rich in proteins. Meat, rich in proteins. Potatoes, they are rich in starch as well as carbohydrates. But number 6, also rice, this is a grain. So let us check the correct answers there. Number 6, 1 and 2, eggs and meat, these are rich in protein, so A is wrong. B, 1 and 4, eggs and rice. Rice is rich in carbohydrates, but not eggs. So B is incorrect. C, 2 and 3, meat and potatoes. No, potatoes are rich in carbohydrates, but meat is rich in protein. 3D, 3 and 4, potatoes and rice. Potatoes are rich in starch, which is also a form of carbohydrates, as well as rice. These are grain, they are rich in carbohydrates. So the correct answer is D on number 6. Moving on to number 7. Number 7, the diagram shows a cross-section of dichotomous root, which label correctly identifies the xylem. From this part, A is root A. Then number 7, C is the xylem, and then B is the phloem. So the correct answer for the question, which label correctly identifies the xylem on number 7, the correct answer is C. Xylem inside, phloem outside, right? So moving on to number 8, physical activities affects our rate and depth of breathing. What happens during increased physical activity? That is number 8. So let us check rate of breathing and depth of breathing. What happens during increased physical activity? Let's say, for example, soon after running, rate of breathing, no, it does not decrease, but it increases. So part A is correct, is incorrect on number 8. Decreases, no. Increases, yes. But the depth of breathing decreases, no. It should increase. Depth of breathing should increase as well as the rate of breathing. Because take a look of the scenario soon after running, the person will have a higher rate of breathing as well as deep, the depth of breathing will increase. Right. All right, moving on to number 9. Which responses occur as a result of the adrenaline secretion, which is number 9. So let us check increased breathing rate. Number 9, yes, there should be increased decreasing breathing rate, a result of adrenaline secretion. Then decreased pupil diameter, yes, it should decrease here. So this part is correct. Then increase the pulse rate. Yes, so this option is correct. And all other options they are incorrect. So the correct answer on number 9 is B. B. And then number 10, a plant seedling is pinned horizontally onto a dump board inside a light proof box. The diagrams show the seedling at the rate of the experiment and after 72 hours. Start of the experiment, the shoot was like this, and this is the root dump board, which is with some moisture. Then after 72 hours, it was about to sprout, I think so. Which response is shown by the root uh, and the shoot? Root is going deeper towards the moist, and then the root is going towards the light. So there is a hydro and hydrotropism and the phototropism. Let us check here. Number 10. So gravitropism and shoot, which is number 10. and gravitropism. Let us check the available options for us to choose the correct answer there. Uh, Gravitropism, phototropism, phototropism. So this should be B, gravitropism as well as phototropism. This one is moving towards the light, and this one is moving towards the ground, the gravity. Right. Moving on to question number 11. Number 11. A student investigates germination in a bean seed. In which set of conditions will the seeds germinate? Germinating seeds, they need oxygen, they need warmth, they need what? Mm, moisture. So let us check the conditions. Uh, in A, there is 5 degrees temperature, water is present, carbon dioxide, so they need oxygen. So A is not correct. Then part B, no water, no, they need water to germinate, so B is incorrect. Part C, no water, no. So part D, 20 degrees optimum temperature, yes, water is present as well as oxygen. So the correct answer is D on number 11. Then number 12. Number 12. Two food chains are shown. White hawk, fowl, fox, and tick. And then grass, rabbit, fox, and flea. What are the vole and rabbit classified as in these food chains on number 12? These are vole and rabbit. They both they are both classified as primary consumers. Both they eat, they survive on something. These rabbits survive on grass, and the vole survive on wheat. Both these are wheat and grass, and these are plants. So vole and rabbit, they are both primary consumers, as we can classify them. Right. Number 13. Which process in the carbon cycle releases carbon into the environment? On number 13, the process is, let us check the feeding. No, was one the process that releases carbon into the atmosphere. So feeding does not release carbon. No. Fossilization, no. Photosynthesis, no. But respiration, it releases carbon. Because as we respire, we produce, we release out carbon dioxide. So in carbon dioxide, there is carbon. So respiration is the process which is required here. Number 14. Number 14 says, what happens to water molecules when water freezes? They become arranged more regularly when they freeze. Number 14, they become smaller. No. They move much closer together. No. They move faster. No. But so the correct answer number 14 is A. What happens to water molecules when water freezes? They become arranged more regularly. So as they freeze, chinenge chakunofoma chigodo, like freezing what? Freezing something, freezing water, right? A block like. Number 15. Which role describe a chemical change? On number 15, which role describe a chemical change? Let us check test and result. One end of a piece of aluminum is heated, then the other end gets hot. There is a chemical change there. Number 15, no? Calcium carbonate is heated, so carbon dioxide is made. Of course, here there is chemical change because carbon plus this process of heating calcium carbonate, carbon, if you add another oxygen, it becomes dioxide during the heating process or the burning process. So this one is the correct answer. A piece of iron is heated and malleable. No, there's no chemical change there. A beaker of water is heated, steam is made. There's no chemical change there because this one is reversible. It can condense and form water again. So the correct answer is calcium carbonate and then carbon dioxide is made. There is a chemical change in this case. Number 16. Number 16. What describes a solvent? So the correct answer number 16. Let's check the answer. A solid that is dissolved in a liquid. A solvent. No, it is the one which allows other things to dissolve within it. So number 16B, the amount of solid that dissolves in a liquid, not as such, but the liquid in which a solid dissolves exactly. It has to allow something to dissolve in it. That is a solvent. So this is the correct answer, number 16. Moving on to number 17. Number 17 says groups which groups of periodic table form compounds uh, which groups of the periodic table form compounds containing four valent bonds. So the group here in this case it should be D, which is group 4, and the group 7. These ones they form covalent bonds. Moving on to number 18. Number 18 reads, what is the chemical formula for nitric acid? So the formula for nitric acid, nitric, uh, this one is the hydrochloric acid, but sulfuric acid, sodium, so nitric acid, this one, this is the chemical formula for nitric acid, HNO3. So this is correct answer number 18. Number 19, which type of substance undergoes electrolysis? On number 19. So the correct answer here, let us check. Modern covalent bonds, electrolysis, no. Solid ionic compounds on number 19, no. Gaseous covalent compounds, no. But electrolysis goes under aqueous solutions of ionic compounds. So this one is the correct answer on number 19. Number 20, which row shows what happens during an endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction, which row shows what happens during endothermic reaction. Number 20. So reaction mixture temperature decreases. Exactly, this is correct. Then thermal energy transfer is from the surroundings. Exactly. This explains the endothermic reaction correctly. It's the temperature, the reaction mixture temperature decreases, and the thermal energy transfer from the surroundings. Transfer from the surroundings. This is correct. And all other options are incorrect. And number 21. Number 21 reads, carbon reacts with carbon dioxide at high temperatures. Carbon plus carbon dioxide to produce carbon monoxide. Which statement about the reaction is correct? On number 21, both carbon and the carbon dioxide are oxidized. No, because, all right, let's move on. In part B, both carbon and the carbon dioxide are reduced. No, this is not a reducing agent because we are burning. Carbon dioxide is heated during carbon dioxide. Carbon reacts with the carbon dioxide. So the correct one is the carbon is oxidized and the carbon dioxide is reduced. Exactly. It has to be reduced to mono from di, which is 2, to mono, which is 1. So carbon dioxide is reduced. This is correct. Mono means 1, di means 2. So we have reduced here in this case. Right, moving on to question number 22. Number 22 reads, the powders are added to dilute sulfuric acid as shown. Magnesium powder dilute sulfuric acid, magnesium oxide powder dilute sulfuric acid, magnesium carbonate powder dilute sulfuric acid. Which powder reacts to produce water? Number 22, the one which reacts to produce water, in this case, let us check magnesium powder and dilute sulfuric acid. This is the one is a powder, so it does not react to produce water in this case, because the reactions which produce water should be an oxide or a carbonate. So in this case, magnesium oxide powder and dilute sulfuric acid. If you react an oxide and an acid, which should also produce water. so an oxide or a carbonate. So the correct answer are magnesium oxide, this one. So it is on part 22. It is on part C. There's no water on magnesium oxide C, and as well as on carbonate we have got water. So this one is the only correct answer on number 22. Moving on to number 23, the results of two tests on substance Q are shown. Test one is add dilute hydrochloric acid to a solid, and then the result bubbles of colorless gas which turns lime water milk. So, all right, fine. Add the aqueous sodium hydroxide to a solution of Q, then green precipitate. Then the result, which cation is present in Q and what is other gas on number 23. So the only gas which produces lime water milk is carbon dioxide. So our from the given options, we have got either option A and option C as the correct answer. So let us check on the first part, the cation, which cation represents in Q. Let's check add dilute hydrochloric acid. All right. In Q, the one which produces green precipitate on number 23 should be ion 2. So the correct answer here is ion 2 as well as carbon dioxide, which is A on number 23. Let us now move on to number 24. Which row describe a transition element? Was used in number 24. We want to check density high. Of course, we can start with the high density. Colored compounds, no, yes. Then X as a catalyst, yes. So which row describe a transition element? A transition element should be high density and should be a colored compound and also acts as a catalyst. So that is the characteristics of a transition element, as you can check in the periodic table. So this 24, the correct answer is B here. Moving on to number 25, which substance does not react with the chlorine? So in the reactivity series, it should be the least reactive. So number 25, the one which should not react with the chlorine on is should be uh, this is what hydrogen. Then and the crow, the one with the CR, lithium, sodium barote. The one which should not react with the chlorine in this case is a B. This one is the least reactive. Right, moving on, and it cannot react with the chlorine. Right, which statement about a chemical test for water is correct? A chemical test for water on number 26. Anhydrous cobalt 2 chloride turns blue. No, this is wrong. Anhydrous cobalt 2 chlorine turns white. No, bad. Anhydrous copper sulfate, copper 2 sulfate turns blue. Of course, this one is correct because copper 2 sulfate turns blue. This is what we expect. All right, moving on to number 27. Methane, ethane, and propane are all alkenes. Their formula are known as, on number 27, the formula for alkenes is methane CH4, ethane, and propane. Which statement is not correct? So let us check. All these compounds are hydrocarbons, and which is not correct? This one is correct. They are all hydrocarbons. And B, all three compounds burn, which is correct. All these three can burn. Methane is the main constituent of natural gas. Of course, methane is the main constituent of natural gas. Then propane burns completely to form carbon dioxide and hydrogen. No, it does not burn completely. Of course, carbon dioxide can be produced, but not, but it does not burn completely. So this one is the correct answer on number 27. Then on number 28, The mass of a solid object is 1.6 grams, 1.6 kgs, and the volume of the object is 80 cubic centimeters. So what is the density? Density is calculated as mass over volume, isn't it? So we have to calculate the mass of a volume on number 28. The mass uh, uh, the mass of a solid object is 1.6 kgs and the volume of object is 80 cubic centimeters. So we simply say 1000 1.6 kgs over 80. So the correct answer, if we calculate, we'll get 0.02 kgs per cubic centimeters. The units are already correct. 1.6, we leave them as kgs and then as cubic centimeters. Kgs per cubic centimeters. That's how we calculate. So 1.6 kgs over 80, we get 0.020 kgs per cubic centimeter on number 28, which is A. This one is correct. All right, moving on to number 29. Number 29 says, which statement about forces is always correct? As a result of force is always good. As a result of force is needed to keep an object moving at a constant speed in a straight line. Number 29 statement about force is always correct. As a resultant force, a resultant force is needed to keep an object moving at a constant speed in a straight line. No? We are now considering Newton's laws of motion in this case. B, air resistance acting on an object falling is still air causes its speed to increase. No, this is not correct. Friction on an object sliding along rough ground acts in the opposite direction to its motion. Yes, of course, this is the correct according to the Newton's laws of motion. Right? No forces act on an object that is at rest. No, there's gravitational force which is acting. That object will need to fall down or to stand still. All right, moving on to number 30. A man walking on snow is in normal shoes sinks into the snow. The man puts on snowshoes and does not sink into the snow. So the question says, which row explains why this happens? Well, this is on number 30. Area on the contact with the snow decreased. No, it has to increase because you now wear larger shoes. So the area contact is now large. Weight on the main decreased. No, weight does not change. Decreased, no. Increased, yes, it increased, but the weight of the man did not decrease. So the correct answer is the area. The area of contact with the snow is increased, and the weight of the man is unchanged. This is correct. Weight of a person doesn't change by changing the type of shoes. Right, number 31. Which two energy sources are both renewable? We need renewable energy sources. So on number 30, we need renewable sources, which is, let us check coal. Coal is not renewable, so it becomes incorrect. Geothermal and nuclear is non-renewable. Oil and tides, oil is non-renewable. Wind and solar, these are both renewable. They are always renewable. Right, number 30. So the correct answer on number 31 is D. Number 32, which process is the escape of more energetic molecules from the surface of a liquid? Number 32, which process is the escape of more energetic molecules from the surface of a liquid? So number 32, let's say condensation, no. More energetic energy will not escape there. Convection, no. Evaporation, but yes, more energy will be lost through evaporation. So this is the correct answer on number 32. Number 33. Number 33. A mechanic cannot remove a large steel nut from a steel board because it is too tight. Right? What does the mechanic do to help or remove the nut? The person has to, or let's check the answer, cool the nut and hit the bolt. No. hit the bolt only? No, hit the nut and the bolt through the same temperature rise, which is number 33. No, hit the nut only on number 33. So if the person hits the nuts only, it will expand. So by expanding, so it will open up it will loosen slightly and it will become very easy to unlock. So the correct answer in this case is D, right? And number 34, number 34. The diagram shows a ray of light being reflected from a plane mirror. A ray of light being reflected by a plane mirror. Four angles are labeled P, Q, R, and S. P, Q, R, and S. Which angles are the angles of incidence and the angle of reflection? On number 34, angle of reflection, in this case, it is angle Q. Where is Q? This one is Q at this point. This is the angle of reflection, and this is labeled Q. And then the angle of incidence. Then the angle of reflection. The angle of reflection is angle this one, which is angle R. This reflects as the mirror. So the angle of incidence is this one, and the angle of reflection is this one, because this is a mirror on the top. All right, fine. So let us move on to number 35. Which region of an electromagnetic spectrum is used in a remote controllers to control a television? So number 35. Infrared, which region of electromagnetic spectrum is used in a remote controllers? Infrared is the one which is used. So it is on part B. Number 36. Number 36. Two balloons X and Y are suspended by insulating threads. They are each held near a negatively charged balloon. The balloons hang as shown. Insulating threads, yes. This one is negatively charged. This one is negatively charged. They are each held near a negatively charged balloon. Right, fine. X and Y. Fine. What is the charge of the balloon on X? The charge, this one, as you can see, it is repelling. So it means that the same colors, the same charge repel. So it should be negatively charged. But Y is positively charged, because if it is negatively, if they attract, it means they are opposite charges. So X should be the same charge as the negative. So where is our answer? Which charge on X balloon and which charge on balloon Y? Let us check the answers. The charge on Y should repel, so it is negative on Y. Where is Y? Y is in this case negative. So our possible answers are A and the C. But let us check the charge on Y. The charge on Y should be positive. So the correct answer becomes C, positive and negative. But moving on to number 37. Number 37. A student sets up a circuit to measure the current in a lamp and the potential difference across it. Which circuit shows the correct connection of the ammeter and the voltmeter? Number 37. Right, a voltmeter should be connected in parallel like this, and then the ammeter should be connected like this. So the correct answer should be B. This one is correctly connected, as you can see. And in this case, as you can see, the ammeter is connected in parallel as this one, which is wrong in this case, because only B shows the correct way of connecting them, the ammeter and the voltmeter. Moving on to number 38. Number 38. The diagram shows a label on the side of a lamp, 12 volts, 3.0 amp, then 36 watts. What is the resistance of the lamp when it is operating normally? So IRV, the table. Do you remember the table? So if we calculate, the correct answer should be 4.0 resistance. This is the correct answer, number 38. Number 39, a circuit contains two lamps and a variable resistor. Two lamps, lamp 1 and lamp 2 and a variable resistor. The resistance of the variable resistor is increased. What happens to the brightness of the lamp 1 and lamp, what happens to the brightness of lamp 2? Lamp 1 is before resistance and lamp 2 is only after the resistance. So let us check on number 39. Brightness of lamp 1, if resistance is on this case, if it is increased, it simply means the resistor will slow down or reduce the amount of electricity electrons which will pass through it. So the brightness of lamp 1 and lamp 2 should decrease. That is the condition which we are going to look in our answers. So let us check on the answers. Decreases. So the correct answer here should be A. Let's check on B. Increases. No, they should no light should increase its brightness if we increase the resistance. No change decreases. No change increases. So the only correct answer as expected is decreases, which is A on number 39. Then lastly, which is number 40. Number 40, identical resistors are connected together in different arrangements. Which arrangement has the greatest resistance between the points X and Y? After arranging the resistors, all right, fine. Number 40, identical resistors are connected together in different arrangements. Which arrangement is the greatest? The greatest is only obtained if we connect the resistors in series. So in this case, the greatest resistance is obtained in this case. I advise you to check my video on resistance. You will have to understand these concepts on my YouTube channel, Mugombi Online School. All right, so this is the end of the paper, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, see you in other sessions. Good day.